Is it going to be an inside the Parker? Yes, it is.
Sully Anderson Field for Great American Conference Softball, the Ouachita Tigers and the University of Arkansas Monticello Cotton Blossoms. It's a beautiful day in southwest Arkansas. This is the first time we've been able to say that, and that's why we have a doubleheader today followed by a single game tomorrow. Good afternoon, everybody. This is Chris Babb, joined by Chris Gay. We've got Wyatt Ashlock, Priscilla Leverett in the truck, along with Noah Brown, Kendall Givens, and Sarah Kate McAnally, bringing you the action today of this this Great American Conference doubleheader between Ouachita and Arkansas Monticello. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of the visitors from UAM come into the game with an 8-6 record, 1-2 in the Great American Conference. They lost a series to Southeastern Oklahoma State last week. Take a look at the starting lineup. Batting first and playing left field, number 10, Hannah Holbrook. Batting second and playing center field, number 8, Adriana Erickson. Batting third and playing third base, number 20 is Grace Neal. Batting cleanup for UAM, the right fielder, number 9, Kennedy Cox. Batting fifth and playing first base, number 19, Sophie Wood. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 18, Maddie Flegling. And catching today and batting seventh in the lineup, number 21, Lexi Smith. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 6, Bailey Camp. And batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 17, Cammie Walker. In the circle for Ouachita, Tuesday Melton, 5-2 on the season, a 5.15 ERA. And we are underway with a taken first pitch called strike to Hannah Holbrook. Holbrook comes into the game batting .298 on the season. Started and played in all 14 games. The 0-1 pitch from Melton fouled back to the net. 0-2 the count on Holbrook from Tuesday Melton. Melton, the sophomore right-hander from Benton, Arkansas. No balls, 2 strikes. Leadoff batter here in the top of the first. The 0-2 pitch taken high for ball 1. Chris, didn't know earlier in the week if we would have a day like this. It's an absolutely gorgeous day. Haven't had too many of those this week, have we?
No, we haven't. Not dressed even for the possibility of a cold front, but it's pretty warm here, so always a great day to have softball, OBU softball on a day like this.
The 1-2 count is outside for ball 2. No score here. First batter in the top of the first inning. The 2-2 pitch coming from Melton. Swinging another foul back to the net, and will stay with it. .190 down the lines here at Sully Anderson Field. .205 down in the power alleys. sun in the face of the fielders, as you can tell on your screen. The 2-2 pitch from Melton. Foul ball out of play. Lands on top of the softball locker room. The field is in good condition. The tarp did its job. You know, this was last weekend, Chris, where they had to adjust the schedule and they played under cloudy and cold conditions. It was wet and the field was wet. And then you had another 3 inches of rain this week as the 2-2 pitch from Melton fouled back to the backstop, and the lefty Holbrook is staying in there nicely. Obviously, as you can tell, if you've not been to Sully Anderson Field before, the hill that funnels all the water down to the area right behind the plate, and that's always the trouble spot, but they've got some turf back there trying to soak that up. The 2-2 pitch from Melton, high and inside for ball 3. So Holbrook, after being behind in the count 0-2, has run the count full. Take a look at the outfield, left to right. Caitlin Province in left, Hope Wade in center, Callie Jordan in right field. Around the infield, I'll give you that after this pitch. The 3-2 from Melton, fouled back to the screen. So 8 pitches here in this first at bat from Hannah Holbrook. Take a look at the infield for Ouachita. Around the infield, left to right. After Melton tries to retire Holbrook. The 3-2 pitch is a base hit just out of the reach of Madison Shoebottom at short. So a tremendous leadoff at bat for Hannah Holbrook. That is her 15th hit of the season, and that will bring up the center fielder Adriana Erickson, a 5'6" freshman from Coppell, Texas, Coppell High School. Erickson batting .290 on the season. 14 hits, 3 doubles, 1 home run, 9 RBIs. So the leadoff runner reaches. Another lefty in the box facing Tuesday Melton. Squares around a bunt. Back to Melton. Fires over to first base for the out to Lauren Lester. So Erickson retired on the sac bunt for the first out of the inning. Holbrook reaches second on the sacrifice, and now Grace Neal, the third baseman, a 5'5" junior from Cabot High School. It's the start at third base. She is the team leader in RBI with 26, batting .385 on the season, and she has a chance to put UAM up here in the top of the first. First pitch just inside for ball 1. Jesselyn Aarons at third, Shoebottom at short, Ornelas at second, Lester at first. The 1-0 pitch is outside. Williams comes out of her crouch to look at a throw. Busy day in the world of Ouachita athletics as it's still crossover season. The basketball teams are still playing, and the women are playing right now in the semifinals. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The 2-0 pitch taken for a called strike 1. So after getting ahead on Hannah Holbrook to start off the top of the first, 0-2, was the first called strike in the last 10 pitches, as Holbrook did a nice job of fouling them off and staying alive before she was able to reach. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. The 2-1 pitch is low and inside for ball 3. So now 3-1 to Grace Neal, the team leader in RBIs, .795 slugging percentage, 4 home runs. She's the team leader in home runs for UAM. 3 balls, 1 strike. Melton looks down and gets her sign. The 3-1 pitch catches the inside part of the plate for strike 2. Neal thought it might have been ball 4. The umpire thought differently, and the count is run full. Neal has walked 4 times, only struck out 3 times, 39 at-bats this season. The 3-2 pitch fouled out of play, and Neal stays alive. Another 2-strike foul Chris, if that's the strategy for UAM, it's effective in running pitch counts up. The first two batters we've seen really stay alive in the box and fight off pitches they might not have wanted to put in play.
Well, and something that the fans will notice is that it really slows the game down.
The 3-2 pitch, fouled out of play again and almost catches Junior over there playing in the dirt. Had no clue that softball almost smacked him.
Yeah, that would have been a bad day for everybody.
That's not a good way to start a game off. Melton looks in, gets her sign, looks down at the wristband. Runner at second, one out for Neal. The 3-2 pitch is low. Oh, it's taken for a called strike three. From our vantage point, we're blocked by the pitcher and the catcher. Excuse me, the umpire and the catcher. Neal thought that was ball four, but it is the 34th strikeout of the season recorded by Tuesday Melton, so now 2 outs. And that brings up another lefty, Kennedy Cox. Playing right field today. First pitch just misses for ball one. Kennedy Cox, a 5'7" junior from Groesbeck, Texas. Transferred from Bossier Parish Community College. Second leading batter on this UAM team, batting .368 on the season. Second in the team in RBIs with 15. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a called strike one. So Melton even in the count at 1-1. One ball, one strikes, 2 outs. The leadoff hitter, Hannah Holbrook, singled and advanced on the sacrifice bunt. The 1-1 pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike two. Obviously, you're getting an angle from center field. Camera's looking into the sun, so here in an hour or two, that will be a little bit better angle. As you see there from our home plate camera, the sun is setting right behind the plate here at Sully Anderson Field. The 1-2 pitch. Aaron Williams gets out of the crouch and makes a stop, keeping Holbrook at second. Nice take by Cox. Several lefties in this UAM lineup, 3 out of the first 4. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Long top of the first. UAM trying to scratch a run across. Melton trying to shut him down. The 2-2, that's a poke into left field. It's down for a hit. They're going to send the runner. Here comes the throw from Province. The relay, and the throw is in time. They called her out, and that is the 3rd out of the inning, and that's going to draw a protest from the third base coach for UAM and the Cotton Blossom fans that are in attendance as well. Holbrook thought she had gotten in there as well. And, Chris, that's a bang-bang play that goes the way of Ouachita to end the top of the first.
And you can understand that one was really close there, and it really was up to a debate. But good call by the umpire and definitely benefits Ouachita in every possible way.
It's a good call if you're wearing purple. If you're wearing green, not so much. That's one of those 50-50 calls, and the first one of the day goes the way of the Tigers. So for UAM, to end the top of the first, no runs on 2 hits. There was no errors, 1 runner left on the base. After the top of 1, UAM 0, Ouachita coming to bat. You're watching Ouachita Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer: caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
We go to the bottom of the first inning. For Ouachita, it'll be Hope Wade, Caitlin Province, and Aaron Williams. Maggie Huddleston will bat if anybody reaches. The starting pitcher for UAM, Sam Stevens, 2-2 on the season, a 6.35 ERA. Stevens, a junior from San Antonio, Texas. Hope Wade takes the first pitch she sees for ball one. Hope Wade batting .260 on the season in 50 at-bats. Wade, a senior from Fort Worth, Texas. So a bang-bang play to end the top of the first goes the way of Ouachita, and the relay from Province in left to Aarons at third to Williams behind the plate. The 7-5-2 put out ended the top of the first. The 2-0 pitch is taken on the bottom part of the zone for strike one. We mentioned, Chris, that a lot of action going on today. Baseball series will not be starting until tomorrow. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow and a single game Sunday at UAM. The 2-1 pitch is taken for ball three. Both basketball teams still alive in the Great American Conference Tournament on semifinal Saturday. Ouachita's women playing Harding right now. The Ouachita, the 6 seed, Harding the 2 seed, and Harding leads 33-18 at halftime. The 3-1 pitch is outside, but Wade takes an attempt at it, comes up empty to run the count full at 3 balls, 2 strikes. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Wade. The 3-2 pitch, a shot into left center field. That gets down for a base hit. So Hope Wade reaches on a single to left center. And so both leadoff batters reach in the top of on the first innings for both UAM and Ouachita. UAM's leadoff advanced to second on a sac bunt and was thrown out on a 7-5-2 to end the top of the first. Caitlin Province to the plate for Ouachita. Batting .323 on the season, 31 plate appearances, 8 RBIs on the season. She stands in from the left side as well. The first pitch, and the umpire has liked the outside part of the plate for both pitchers and probably given them about maybe a ball and a half outside that plate, and it's a tough pitch to hit. The 0-1 pitch tries to go to the same spot. It had the spot, but just not the height, and that ball was just too low for ball one. We mentioned Ouachita's women's basketball team on the Great American Conference YouTube channel, the Great American Conference Network page. The 1-1 pitch squares around a bunt, takes for ball one. The first baseman for UAM was crashing. That's Sophie Wood. Bailey Camp covered from second. There was no throw to Hope Wade. 2 balls, 1 strike to Caitlin Province, the left fielder in the Ouachita lineup today. The 2-1 pitch, high fly ball into right field. Going to be playable. Caught just at the left field line by Hannah Holbrook. So Caitlin Province is retired on the F7 for the first out of the inning. Wade stays at first base. Yeah, big quarterfinal night for Ouachita basketball, Chris. The women come up with a double-digit win over Henderson State, the 6 defeating the 3, and then the men became only the second 8 seed in the Great American Conference Tournament to beat a 1 seed with a big win over Southern Nazarene. And so both of them in semifinal Saturday. The women playing right now, trailing Harding. And the men will play later tonight. Erin Williams steps in. The catcher behind in the count 0-1. She gets around on that one and finds a hole under the glove of the second baseman. Wade's going to try to advance to second. She gets in, and Erin Williams will advance to second on the throw. Great base running by Erin Williams. Great piece of hitting. And then, Chris, she saw the throw and advanced to second. That's a great piece of base running when she saw that throw get through the end of the cutoff man.
Yeah, an excellent base running by Hope Wade as well, going from first to third there. Just great offensive execution by the Tigers.
Maggie Huddleston comes to the plate for Ouachita, batting .333 on the season, 39 at-bats. She's the team leader in RBIs with 18. The next highest is Lacey Ornelas with 11, and Maggie has a chance to add to that total here with runners at second and third. She swings at the first pitch she sees from Stevens and fouls it into the muddy ditch. Down the right field line. Lots of mud and water still anywhere. The practice field on the other side of the street past center field was a swimming pool this time earlier, about Wednesday or Thursday. Ground ball up the middle. It goes off of the heel of the glove of the shortstop, and Ouachita's going to score 2 runs. Hope Wade was off on contact. Williams was off to the races to third, And then after the ball went off of the glove of Cammie Walker at short, Aaron Williams was waved around by head coach Derek Grimes, and it is 2-0. So Maggie Huddleston's probably going to get 1 RBI. Not sure if they'll rule that 2 RBIs or not. We'll have to see if that was ruled as a hit or an error. We'll check the live stats to see, but regardless, it's 2-0. To the plate for Ouachita now, Lauren Lester, the first baseman, batting .341 on the season. 6 RBIs. Lester is a 5'7" junior from North Little Rock. North Little Rock High School. Good things come out of North Little Rock High School, I've heard, Chris.
Yeah, definitely, and great player with the Wildcats, and has had a solid career so far with the Tigers.
My broadcast partner, Chris Gay, also a product of North Little Rock High School.
Yep, go Charging Wildcats.
There you go. Well, this former Charging Wildcats is trying to keep it going, but she takes a swing at that pitch that was low, and so the count is 1-2. But we'll wrap up this basketball tournament, Chris, as the men get a victory over Southern Nazarene, who only had 1 conference loss this season. And Ouachita just put a really, really good game together. I believe that was Thursday night. To pull that upset, keep their hopes alive, and they will play Arkansas Tech later this evening.
Yeah, I know that shocked a lot of people, but Coach Nutt and that squad, that's a dangerous group, and also not, taking away from Coach Dallimore and his squad, but both Ouachita teams, extremely dangerous. I'm hoping that Ouachita women can pull this one out, but I imagine this is not the last we hear from either team.
That's right. Lauren Lester swings at the 2-2 pitch that was outside for strike 3, so now that's the second out of the inning. Callie Jordan comes to the plate for Ouachita. She's the team leader in batting average with .459 on the season, 5 RBIs. She also stands in from the left side with 2 outs and a runner on first. Stevens did not get the call on that pitch on the outside part of the plate. I think the catcher signaling to the the Cotton Blossom dugout that might have been low. The 1-0 pitch, she took some off of it, and that missed as well, so it's 2-0. Also, we want to mention Ouachita Wrestling heavyweight Johnny Green will be the 4th seed in the NCAA Wrestling Nationals, so good luck to Johnny Green in the heavyweight division. The 2-0 pitch, foul ball just outside the bag at third. That went all the way to the corner, but it was just foul. Chris, a lot of times in OSDN we do stories for the new show where we kind of get in and participate, whether it's we had some girls go through an off-season workout with football. You want to see if we can get Johnny Green and maybe try a little heavyweight wrestling. You want to try that?
Well, no, I really do not. No, maybe lightweight wrestling and okay, even that. No, I have no confidence in that. But but congratulations to Johnny Green. That's a great accomplishment, and hope he does extremely well.
You'll wish him well and not trust that he's good. The 3-1 pitch is taken for a called strike 2. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So Huddleston will be off with the pitch. Jordan stands in, try to protect and extend it to Lacey Ornelas. Stevens, the 3-2 pitch. Ground ball to shortstop. Fields the ball, throw over to first in time. So Cammie Walker fields that one and throws across the diamond to Sophie Wood for the 6-3 put out for the 3rd out of the inning. So for Ouachita, 2 runs on 2 hits, we believe. Not sure if there was an error on that one. I think that would probably be a hit. We'll pull it up on the live stats and see, but regardless, 1 runner left on base. After 1, Ouachita 2, UAM 0. Back to Sully Anderson Field after this timeout. You're watching Ouachita Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Our town, a place for new beginnings, stalwart pine trees, reuniting with old friends. Whether you find yourself here for a ball game, a wedding, or just to catch up with those you love, we want to invite you to be a guest on our front porch. A place to sit back and watch the world go by. A place where time seems to slow down. Our home away from home. Welcome back. Captain Henderson House, now accepting reservations.
I'm Nicole Auerbach from The Athletic.
Hey, this is Alex Pruitt with Sports Illustrated Magazine.
This is Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
This is Danielle Musselman.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Washita Sports Digital Network.
Runs on 3 hits. Both of those RBI to Maggie Huddleston gave Washita a 2-0 lead. After one, it's the 5, 6, 7 hitters for UAM. Sophie Wood, Maddie Fledging, and Lexi Smith. Going against Tuesday Melton, starter in the circle for Washita. Melton 5-2 on the season. 50.2 innings pitched coming into today's game. She's ahead in the count, the 0-1, a high fly ball to medium left center field. Plenty of time for Hope Wade to camp out under that one and make the catch for the first out of the inning. And that brings up the designated player, Maddie Fledging, the 6-foot sophomore from Waco, Texas, product of Midland High School. Batting .333 on the season, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 9 hits. She scored 8 runs. First pitch swinging, foul ball, might be room, but not enough for Lauren Lester to battle the net, the opposing dugout, and the mud. The turf-covered mud. As we mentioned, the playing field inside the lines and outside the lines, except for in front of the visitors' dugout, home dugout, and behind the plate is nice, but it is always muddy there. The 0-1 pitch fouled back to the screen, 0-2. But always muddy, and it's, when you're at the bottom of the hill, Chris, that gravity kind of does what it does. I know they're trying to figure out some things to get it fixed, but regardless, the playing field is nice. The outfield is drained nicely. The infield tarp did its job on this infield that's 2 years old after they came and rebuilt it before the 22 season. Flagging stands up in the box a little bit. Takes the 0-2 pitch outside for ball 1. Glad to be with you today from Sully Anderson Field. Got more of our camera angles and other bells and whistles that we can have now that our trailer was able to be moved after basketball season. The 1-2 pitch, a high fly ball into left field. Province goes back, and she runs out of room, and that is a home run for for Maddie Flagging. Maddie Fledging gets UAM on the board. That is her third home run of the season. She's one behind Grace Neal, and she just turned on that pitch and gave it a ride, Chris.
Yep, definitely, and that's definitely something that Monticello was really needing. They needed the offense going, and maybe that can get them on a roll here.
Melton will try to respond, and the first pitch is a shot into the gap in right center field. Wade takes a dive at it, doesn't get it, it's to the fence. Smith will round first and go into second standing up, so Smith gets the second extra base hit for UAM, and they were on back-to-back pitches. Hope Wade with a nice effort in center field. I thought that one, Chris, was no chance for Hope Wade, but she made a nice diving attempt at it, came within just a couple of feet, but was not able to make the catch. And so now, with the score 2-1, 1 out, runner on second, Bailey Camp, the second baseman, steps in. Camp batting .206 on the season. Also stands in from the left side. That's a shot up the middle that gets into center field. The runner is going to round third, and nice throw from Hope Wade in center field. Keeps the runner, Lexi Smith, acted like she drew a throw, and she did not decide to continue that. Bailey Camp reaches with a single to center field. She was not able to advance on that throw, but now there's runners at the corners for Cammie Walker. Walker batting .381 on the season, 21 at-bats, only played in 9 games to this point. 1 out. Melton outside for ball 1. Semifinal Saturday in the Great American Conference Tournament around the state of Arkansas. It's semifinal Saturday around state tournaments. We were down here yesterday setting up and had the streams of different games going, and some of these Ouachita softball players who went to high schools who have teams playing said, hey, can you pull up this game? Pull up this game. Caught some Farmington and Sheridan and a couple of different teams. That was, of course, after the Ouachita women's team got their big win over Henderson. They've got a mountain to climb if they want to overcome this deficit to the 2-seed Harding right now, as Harding looks like it might be in shape to move to tomorrow's championship game. The 2-0 pitch, the runner goes. They've got Shoe Bottom, they've got her in a rundown. There's the tag, so that is a tremendous job of execution defensively for Ouachita, and not what UAM wanted offensively, and the coach, third base coach, not happy with that. But it was just nice defense and nice textbook rundown work from Williams and Shoe Bottom.
Yeah, and I think Camp was just kind of just stuck in that moment. It wasn't much she could do. She was really sandwiched by both Lester and Shoe Bottom and got the easy out.
So it goes from first and third with 1 out, now 2 outs, and Melton can try to get out of the inning. 2-1 the count to Walker. If Walker reaches, we'll go back to the top of the order to Hannah Holdbrook. Tuesday Melton would like to get out of this one, limiting the damage. Chris, I chose the wrong tree to sit behind. The sun. I'm going to be a redneck by the end of this game. 3 balls, 1 strike, the 3-1 pitch. Catches, must have caught the front corner of the plate, Chris. I don't think the batter line, I don't think Weeks like that pitch. If I'm Weeks on that one, I think I'm probably ended up, I would assume that would have me ended up at first base, but it was called strike 2. So now Melton really has a chance. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the second. A 1-out home run from Maddie Fledging puts UAM on the board, and then Lexi Smith backed that up with a double on the next pitch, and it looked like UAM was off to the races, but Melton has a chance to shut that down here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Walker. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that retires the side for UAM, but not before the Cotton Blossoms get 1 run on 3 hits. There were no errors, 1 runner left on base. To the bottom of the second we go. Ouachita 2, UAM 1. You're watching Ouachita Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
If you or a loved one gets hurt in an accident,
You need true care and concern,
you can hand us everything, the bills, the paperwork, and anything else you need help with.
so you can focus on recovering from your injury.
That's why people turn to the Taylor King Law Firm.
You need an attorney with integrity and experience in dealing with the complex details.
We do everything we can to relieve the stress and take care of your family.
If you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
We'll be on your side, by your side.
Touchdown, Ouachita! Way up at the buzzer! Is it going to be an inside the Parker? Yes, it is!
7, 8, 9 come to the plate in the bottom of the second for Ouachita. Lacey Ornelas, Madison Shoe Bottom, Jesselyn Aarons facing Stevens in the circle. Sam Stevens out for her second inning of work. First pitch to Ornelas is low for ball 1. Ornelas batting .314 on the season. The 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 1. Ornelas 35 at-bats, 6 runs, 11 hits in those 35 at-bats. 3 doubles and 3 home runs. She and Maggie Huddleston had tied for second on the team in home runs. The 1-1 pitch fouls that one back to the net. So the count is 1-2. The 1-2 to Ornelas. Nice job by Stevens of taking some off of it, and she got Ornelas swinging for the first out of the inning, the second strikeout for Stevens. And that'll bring up the freshman Madison Shoe Bottom. Shoebottom, the freshman shortstop from Bald Knob, Arkansas. Swings at the first pitch she sees, and basically it's a swinging bunt, and Shoebottom's going to reach. Chris, she caught just enough of the top half of that ball to drill it into the ground and keep it fair, and served as basically a bunt.
Yeah, and that's a really difficult area for Monticello to field because it's all equally distanced away from the pitcher, the catcher, and the third baseman. So Shoebottom was actually in a pretty good position, got to first base fairly easily.
Jesselyn Ahrens to the plate now, batting .231 on the season. Takes the first pitch for a called strike one. Yeah, it's kind of that Bermuda Triangle between third, the pitcher, and home. They were not expecting a bunt, and Grace Neal at third charged as much as she could, but couldn't get to it. The 0-1 pitch. Ahrens does square around a bunt. Neal fields it. The throw to first to a covering Bailey Camp from second is in time, and so Shoebottom advances to second on the sac bunt from Ahrens. The 5-4 sac bunt for the second out of the inning, and so now back to the top of the order to Hope Wade. Wade singled to left center and scored in the first inning, and she has a chance to increase this Ouachita lead as Madison Shoebottom stands at second. Wade to Neal at third, fields it, and the throw across the diamond is in time for the third out of the inning. So for Ouachita, no runs on one hit. There were no Cotton Blossom errors and one runner left on base. After two complete, Ouachita 2, UAM 1, and we'll be back to Sully Anderson after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
Back to the top of the order for UAM. 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. Ouachita 2 runs on 4 hits, no errors. And to the top of the order for UAM, Hannah Holbrook, Adriana Erickson, and Grace Neal. Holbrook led off the top of the first with a single. She was thrown out at the plate in a bang-bang call, controversial call, questionable, whatever you want to say, but she puts a charge into that one, and it goes over the head of Wade and lands at the base of the wall on the first pitch to start the top of the third. And so Holbrook is 2 for 2 with a double and a single. That's the 6th hit of the game for UAM. Holbrook came into the game batting .298. That's her 4th double of the year. And now Adriana Erickson, sacrifice bunt in the first inning. She'll swing away here with the runner already in scoring position, you would imagine. Or square around a bunt and make the announcer look foolish. That's usually the way it works, right? Softball and baseball are different. Called strike one on the first pitch to Erickson. 5'6" freshman from Coppell, Texas, Coppell High School. The 0-1 pitch is out of the zone for ball one. Ouachita women's basketball team still down by double digits to Harding in the 4th quarter of the GAC women's basketball tournament semifinals in Shawnee, Oklahoma. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a foul back to the net, and so Melton ahead of Erickson 1-2. Chris, we've seen a lot in baseball, whether it's college or professional, about the pitch clock. Obviously in softball, it's already a game that moves faster. But I can't imagine if it was what if there were a pitch clock or something else added, how the players would have to adjust. The 1-2 pitch is a ground ball foul down the third base line. Aarons fields that one in foul territory. And basically I'm saying I'm glad we don't have to mess with that. It'll be interesting to see how that will all play out. Now, my son is in high school. He's had 2 baseball games this last week, and both of them went over 3 hours. So the running joke there was that maybe high school baseball needs a pitch clock. The 1-2 pitch to Erickson is low for ball 2.
Well, to add to that, I personally don't think that a pitch clock is a terrible idea. Softball, I don't think it's really necessary, but I think that just what I've seen in the MLB, I think it's a little quick right now. I think it creates chaos more than anything, so maybe they'll tinker with that a little bit more down the line.
Well, Erickson tried to create her own little bit of chaos right there with a swinging bunt. A bunt single back to the pitcher, gets Holbrook to third. Erickson is at second, so now Grace Neal, the team leader with an RBI with 26 on the season. Team leader in hits with 15. 4 home runs, the team leader. 26 RBIs, the team leader. She has a chance to tie this one. And she stands in with nobody out and runners on first and third. Our friend, the tree that provides some shade, also puts a nice shadow on the infield. The 1-0 pitch catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. And Chris, before an early season, before the leaves bloom, just kind of an eerie looking shadow out there on the field.
Yeah, and then I'm sure whoever's bat or whoever is up to bat just might appreciate the little bit of shade that it provides.
The 1-2 pitch is fouled out of play, and if you watch the ball, you're not going to be able to see that on the screen, but from our vantage point there, you see on the screen now, watching that ball goes in and out of that shadow several times from the time it's released in the circle to the plate. So interesting time of day where you see that tree causing the shadow. The 1-2 pitch, a shot into left field, and that will tie the ball game. As Grace Neal got around on that 1-2 pitch. And tied the game as Holbrook scores from third. Erickson reaches second, or advances to second. And we are tied at 2. And Kennedy Cox to the plate. Singled in the first. Melton tried to get that outside part of the plate, and this time it was not, the call was not given to the pitcher. We've seen that either go either way to either pitcher. So Melton trying to get out of a jam. Runners at first and second with nobody out. Tie game at 2. Ground ball, check swing to second. Ouachita wasn't covering, and then the ball got away from Ornelas. And then Adriana Erickson kind of caught Ouachita sleeping and was able to score from third. And that's going to bring Coach Grimes out for a quick talk inside the circle with his team. And Grace Neal advanced to second, Cox at first. Chris, I think Ornelas thought that she had fielded that cleanly. She might have been able to flip to Shoebottom covering the bag, but Shoebottom was going the other way, and then the ball was just kind of in no man's land, and there was a nice heads-up base running by Erickson to score.
Yeah, I imagine for some of the OBU players, it kind of seemed like the play was dead for a moment. It definitely felt dead, but good heads-up play by Monticello, and now they're up by 1.
3-2 here in the top of the third with nobody out still. The runners at first and second in the form of Neal and Cox. Sophie Wood to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. 3:06 on the season coming into today's game. Takes a first pitch called strike from Tuesday Milton. UAM 8-6 overall 1-2 in the GAC after losing a series to Southeastern Oklahoma last week. Ouachita 8-8, 2-1 in conference after their series win over Southwestern Oklahoma State last week. Just lost a partner and got him back. He's good over there. Squared around to bunt is fouled back to the backstop from Sophie Wood, so the count is 0-2. Wood trying to bunt the runners over to second and third and set up a 2 RBI opportunity for Flegging, who hit a home run in the second for the first UAM run of the game. Melton trying to get an out. The 0-2 pitch. Frame job by Williams, but to no avail. And the count is 1-2. The 1-2 pitch fouled out of play. Melton tried to get her to chase. Wood did, but she was able to get enough of it to stay alive. One ball, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on first and second for the Cotton Blossoms. The 1-2 pitch fouled back to the net. Got just on enough of that off the cap of the bat. Our friend the trunk has made its way to the first base side of the middle of the mound as the sun sets behind us. Shadows change. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Sophie Wood is the first out of the inning. That's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Melton. 2 via the swing, 1 looking. Chris, she went outside, and finally was able to get it just far enough outside, but enticing enough for Wood to go after it. So Fledging comes up to the plate. She's 1 for 1 with a solo shot in the second. Melton stays away from that inside part of the plate. She turned on one the first at bat, and Melton says, I'm not going there on the first pitch. He gets a called strike. Ahrens is in at third. Straight away in the outfield. First and third are in. Normal double play depth up the middle. The 0-1 pitch. Melton again goes outside part of the plate, and it's fouled back to the backstop. So 0-2 now. Good look there at Tuesday Melton in the circle. Lauren Lester at first. Kennedy Cox standing on first for UAM. The 0-2 pitch. Good waste there by Melton. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Beautiful day, beautiful afternoon. The 1-2 pitch. Tried to get her to go again, but nice plate discipline from Maddie Fledging. Chris, it's a beautiful day today, but have you seen the forecast for the middle to end of next week?
Oh, don't even tell me about it.
I will not. If those of you at home would like to see what it is, I'll mute Chris's ears and tell you it's going to rain again. 3 inches worth again. The 2-2 pitch. Nice pitch by Melton. She took some off of it. Lester catches the ball in foul territory, and Fledging is retired for the second out of the inning on the foul pop-up to first base. And 2 outs in the inning now, and Lexi Smith doubled and was stranded in the second. Runners at first and second now, 3-2 UAM. First pitch is low for ball 1. 4 hits in the inning for the Cotton Blossoms. We've gotten 2 runs on those 4 hits. I believe that's 9 for the game. The 1-0 pitch. High and outside, ball 2. Bailey Camp stands on deck. She singled in the second inning. If Smith can do anything here. The 2-0 pitch misses, high and inside for ball 3 now. The 3-0 pitch from Melton. Taking all the way was Lexi Smith for strike one. So now 3 balls and 1 strike. Aarons is even with the bag. The left foot even with the bag at third. Right foot half a step back. Now she squares up. The 3-1 pitch misses just high for ball 4. Melton thought she might be able to get that one, but she did not get the call, and it's a walk for Lexi Smith. I believe that's the first walk of the day issued by Tuesday Melton. So now Bailey Camp stands up with the bases loaded. Camp, 206 on the season, 5 RBIs, 7 hits on the season. She'll try to extend this UAM lead with her 8th. Melton hits the outside part of the plate for strike 1. Chris, this is a big at-bat for both of these teams. UAM has a chance to extend the lead, put some separation early, almost midway through the game. Ouachita really needs to get out of this one to keep the damage and keep the deficit at 1. You come to those parts of the game early where you can tell that this is a big at-bat, and this is one of those big at-bats in a 3-2 game here in the top of the third, 7-inning games. Ground ball to Shoebottom. She charges it, throws off of 1 foot. Nice hard throw across the diamond. And Ouachita breathes a sigh of relief after Bailey Camp is retired on the 6-3 putout. But UAM gets 2 runs on 4 hits. No, 1 Ouachita error, technically, I guess, on the misplay on the infield. And 3 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the third inning. UAM 3, Ouachita 2. Back after this on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer, caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
Three runs on 8 hits, no errors for the Cotton Blossoms. 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 error for Ouachita. It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters to start the bottom of the third for Ouachita. Caitlin Province, Erin Williams, and Maggie Huddleston. Province 0 for 1, flew out to left field in the first. She stands in against Sam Stevens. Stevens has given up 4 hits. Not walked a batter yet. Struck out 2 of Ouachita's lineup. The 1-0 pitch taken for a called strike 1. You said you didn't want to get on the mat with Johnny Green. What about taking a Tuesday Melton fastball, drop ball, rise ball? We could make that work. We could make that happen.
Well,
we don't have to video it.
Well, my I never played softball, but my baseball experience just goes to pitching machine, so I don't think I'd be able to hit one of Melton's balls.
That's a good rip by Province, but it goes right into the glove of right fielder Kennedy Cox for UAM. So 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning on the fly out to right field from Province. Erin Williams steps in. She singled to right and scored in the first on Maggie Huddleston's 2 RBI single. She stands in with 1 out, nobody on here in the third. Nice first pitch, fastball right down Main Street for Stevens. Yeah, I think see a lot of those videos of people who've played a lot of baseball. So I can stand in there and hit that. And then they do, and they end up going viral, but not for the reason they thought they might. Williams turns on that one, fouls it down the first baseline. And so now Stevens ahead in the count, 0-2.
Well, would you follow that trend, or would you kind of?
Oh, I'd stand in there. I'm not saying I would do anything with it other
Not
than
saying you would hit.
No. I've heard people say I would touch it, but I'm not even going to say that, because then when you do and go in and you do at least touch a ball, then you look like you've beaten expectations.
Yeah.
Did throw in the pin yesterday with Tuesday and Maggie Huddleston. I'm afraid it was videoed. The 1-2 pitch to Williams. Ground ball to first base. Tomorrow is Sunday, but that was a Sunday hop to Sophie Wood, and Williams is retired on the 3 unassisted for the second out of the inning. Now Maggie Huddleston to the plate, designated player. Singled and drove in 2 runs in the first inning. And she bats with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the third. Stevens goes to the outside part of the plate. Huddleston fouled that one to the net, to the dugout, first base. That left foot kind of stepped out a little bit, and so she was able to catch just the end of the ball with the bat. I think I meant to say catch the ball with the end of the bat. You think that's probably what meant to come out there?
Yeah, I think you were working on it.
Yeah. Came up a little bit short, just like I would if I was facing a pitcher. The 0-1 pitch misses for ball 1. 1-1 from Stevens. Low for ball 2. Noah Brown on our center field camera right there. To his right is Dr. Wesley Cluck, campus physician and photographer. The 2-1 pitch is low for ball 3. Not many. I think that's a very common combination, campus physician and photographer. I've always wondered that. You know, when Dr.
It
Cluck
might be pretty unique, though.
Yeah, he'd go out.
I think so.
He'd go out and look at player injuries and carry his camera out there. I think the first time he ever did that, one of the referees looking and said, "What are you doing bringing a camera out there?" Huddleston fouls the 3-1 pitch to the backstop, so now the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. As Stevens gets Huddleston to pop that one into right field. Enough time for right fielder Kennedy Cox to measure it up and make the catch for the third out of the inning. So Ouachita goes 1-2-3 for the first time today. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. We finished 3. UAM 3, Ouachita 2. Back after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Our town, a place for new beginnings, stalwart pine trees, reuniting with old friends. Whether you find yourself here for a ball game, a wedding, or just to catch up with those you love, we want to invite you to be a guest on our front porch, a place to sit back and watch the world go by, a place where time seems to slow down. Our home away from home. Welcome back. Captain Henderson House, now accepting reservations.
Well, it's gone final in Shawnee, Oklahoma at Fire Lake Arena in the semifinals of the Great American Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. Harding advances to the championship game with a win over Ouachita. The season comes to an end for the Ouachita Tigers, but congrats to Coach Dallimore and his squad on advancing and making the tournament and then getting their upset win in the first round of the tournament to make the semifinals. Tuesday Melton back to action in the circle, and the first pitch to Cammie Walker is a single to center field to start off the top of the fourth. To wrap up women's basketball, Michaela Miller, the only senior on the Ouachita women's basketball team. Congrats to her for her great career. Capped 1,000 points this year. The senior from Little Rock. Back to the top of the order, Hannah Holbrook. She's 2 for 2 with a single and a double. She takes the first pitch she sees from Melton for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch misses the outside part of the plate. And so now the count is 2-0 to Holbrook, who came into today's game 5th on the team in batting average with .298, .340 on base percentage, but she's been on base. That's increased today. She's been on base both times. Melton trying to retire for the first time, but now she is behind in the count 3-0. Well, Chris, you want your leadoff batter to get on base, and that's exactly what Holbrook has done the first 2 times she's seen the plate, and she's trying to do it for 3rd time in a row, and she's in good shape.
Yeah, definitely having a really nice day so far, and Ouachita needs to neutralize her so far.
The 3-0 pitch is fouled down the left field line, out of the reach of Caitlin Province. Could have been caught by our camera operator, Sarah Kate McAnally, or Dr. Cluck's camera. Never want a camera to catch a foul ball, though.
No, you don't.
Melton wants a different ball and gets one. Looks at her wristband after she gets the sign from pitching coach Janie Grimes. The 3-1 pitch. High fly ball. Province goes back. She reverses field, and she's almost makes the catch, but it goes off of her glove at the wall.
Well, it was good effort by Province, but she had that in her glove. It was just the wall that broke that one up, and Ouachita would definitely love to have that one back.
So Province dropped and went to her left, and the ball kept tailing, and so she had to reverse, drop step the other way and go over her right shoulder, look over her left shoulder. Had it in her glove, ran into the wall. Nice job. She felt for it and everything. Everything was like it was supposed to be, but the ball just did not stay in the glove of Caitlin Province after she hit the wall, and so Holbrook is now 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double. That would have been a double if Cammie Walker had not been on base, having to wait and see if Province was going to catch it. The 1-0 pitch. Squares around a bunt. That's Adriana Erickson. She had a sacrifice bunt in the first, singled and scored in the third. And she bats again with runners on. UAM has really put pressure early in the innings and getting runners on base. They've gotten 3 of those to score. Melton has flirted with danger in all 4 of the innings. There's a bunt, and she's got a chance to beat that one out, and she does. That was a perfectly placed bunt by Erickson. Walker advances to third. Holbrook is at second. And so now the bases are loaded with nobody out.
Yep, this is a perfect position for Monticello to be in. They were bases loaded in their previous offensive sequence, and they weren't able to do anything with that. But now, no outs to deal with. Great opportunity for the Cotton Blossoms.
And they would rather have nobody else at the plate than Grace Neal, the team leader in home runs, RBIs, hits, all of it. Actually not hits. Technically she is. 15 hits to lead the team coming into today's game. Holbrook now has 3, so she's at 17 now, the team leader. But coming into today's game, it was Grace Neal. Leader in hits, RBIs, home runs, and she's got a chance for all those with the bases loaded, nobody out. Ball's going to look as big as a beach ball probably. The 0-1 pitch is outside for ball 1. You can tell that Melton's not wanting to come inside at all to Grace Neal. Batting .385, the team leader in batting average. The junior from Cabot High School. A few good things come out of Cabot High School too, Chris. A few good things come out of Cabot High School too.
How's that?
You're looking at him. It was just a few years before Grace Neal graduated, though. The 1-1 pitch is outside. Oh, they call that a strike. All right, so it wasn't as far outside as it looked like between my vantage point and the umpires. There's a cowboy hat in my way, though. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Melton trying to get a big out. The 1-2 is outside. Again, with a 1-2 count, she wasn't going to bring anything too far over the plate. Had a pitch to waste, and she used it. There you see Melton looking at her sign, or looking at the wristband. The 2-2 pitch went outside again, and Neal again stayed alive and fouled that one back to the wall. Williams will throw that ball to the Ouachita dugout to get it wiped off and rubbed down as it went to one of the muddiest parts of the field. The 2-2 pitch outside, ball 3. Now she's going to have to come to her now. No place to put her. 3-2. Big pitch for both teams again. It's one of those big pitches. We had one in the top of the 3rd. Here's another one in the top of the 4th. Nowhere to put Neal. Neal will be looking to protect as well. The 3-2 pitch outside, ball 4. And Grace Neal gets an RBI walk. Cammie Walker comes across to score to make it 4-2. Hannah Holdbrook is at 3rd. Erickson at 2nd. And Kennedy Cox, who's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, has a chance to extend this lead again and really put some separation in a good spot for UAM because still nobody out.
Well, and also now you have your second best hitter on the team, Cox, second on the team of batting percentage, and second in runs scored, and third in home runs. So definitely not someone you want at the plate.
Yeah, almost a line drive that was caught by Lester, but it just went off the tip of her glove into right field, and that is a 2 RBI single for Kennedy Cox. She's 3 for 3 on the day. Holbrook scores. Erickson was able to score after the deflection. They all had to hold up until it got past the glove of Lauren Lester, and once it did, Erickson was off to the races, and that's 6-2 now, the lead for UAM. Still nobody out. Runners at 1st and 2nd for Sophie Wood. First pitch from Melton is high for ball 1. So danger area now for Ouachita. Down by 4. 2 runners on, nobody out. High fly ball to center field. Wade goes by and looks at it go over the fence for a 3-run home run from Sophie Wood. And UAM has blown this one open, Chris, and you could tell right off the bat that one was not going to stay inside Sully Anderson Field.
No, it wasn't, and Monticello's in his fantastic position, up by 7 here in Ouachita. They need to close this one out, and they need to close this inning out and try to flip to the other side for offense.
Coach Grimes is going to come out and make a change, 9-2, as that was a 3-run homer for UAM. We're going to have a pitching change, and we'll come back and talk about our new pitcher after this timeout. You're watching Ouachita Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer. Caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Hannah Hunter is the new pitcher for Ouachita. Kendall, ask him if he can hear me. Hunter is a junior from Malvern, Arkansas, Malvern High School. 0-3 on the season, 9.26 ERA. And first batter she faces is Maddie Fledging, who is 1 for 2 with a solo home run. So the book is closed on the day for Tuesday Melton. And Chris, UAM got in the situation with bases loaded, nobody out, as that ball is fouled out of play into the UAM dugout, and the batters just really had the green light and kind of fed off each other is what it looked like in that in the first part of the top of the fourth.
Yeah, there was a lot of energy there, and yeah, definitely you could tell they had the green light to hit, and it was working. And I imagine that doesn't stop here.
0-2 the count. Hunter comes inside. Fledging takes for ball 1, so I believe 5 hits in the 4th inning alone for UAM. They've scored 6 runs and made it 9-2, and that one almost finds a hole. It does. Madison Schubottom did a nice job ranging to her right to try to backhand that ball, but it's just in the perfect spot. It'll be a single for Fledging, and Lexi Smith to the plate. 1 for 1 with a double and a walk in the 3rd. Still nobody out here in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch from Hunter, ground ball to 3rd. Aarons has to wait for Ornelas to get to the bag. She's able to get the force out on the 5-4 put out for the first out of the inning. Smith reaches on the fielder's choice. And now Bailey Camp comes to the plate, but not before we have a substitution. It looks like Lexi Smith is going to have a pinch runner. Actually, no, they're going to call back Bailey Camp. And so Bailey Camp will be pinch hit for. We see a number, we'll tell you who that is. Number 15, Madison Gardner, a 5'4 junior from Lorena, Texas. Gardner batting .400 on the season, only 10 at-bats, played in 7 games. This is her 8th appearance in a game, 11th plate appearance, 3 runs, 4 hits, no extra base hits.
I will add that Jaden Ferguson will now be at first.
All right, pinch runner Jaden Ferguson is running as well. So Ferguson, a 5'5 freshman from Mansfield, Texas, gets the pinch run responsibility. The 1-0 pitch is fouled back to the net. Gardner giving it all she had on that one. So 1-1 the count from the Ouachita relief pitcher Hannah Hunter. It's her 6th appearance. She's pitched 11 2/3 innings this season. The 1-1 pitch is high for ball 2. Early in the Great American Conference season, Ouachita 2-1, UAM 1-2. Ouachita won its series last week with Southwestern. The 2-1 pitch is low for ball 3. Monticello dropped its first conference series to Southeastern Oklahoma State. Washita was picked 8th in the Great American Conference in the preseason poll as Gardner works a walk in her first plate appearance. So now UAM has batted around the lineup, and we go back to Cammie Walker, who started this with a single to center on the first pitch she saw to start the top of the 4th. And so now runners at first and second. Walker wanted to take a big hack at it. All right, so they appeal from a right-handed batter. It's a three umpire crew, a 3-man crew. You have an umpire down the third base line and an umpire between first and second, and they appeal that to the third base umpire.
Yeah,
I need to ask somebody about that mechanic because nobody inside the fence protested. It drew a few puzzled stares up here in the bleachers. But in a 2-man crew, I know that's almost impossible. But in a 3-man crew, why you would appeal to the third base umpire instead of the one who could see if she checked her swing, I'm going to have to ask about that. That just got me curious. And someone watching that now is saying, well, it's because this. And I just can't hear them saying that. But that is interesting. Interesting that they would appeal to the third base umpire, unless the only thing I can think of, Chris, and is that the field umpire at second is having to watch for whether she's on the rubber, but that looks like that would be a better angle for the third base umpire too. That's exactly what the third base umpire is looking at. He's looking at, you can see him now, he's looking at Hunter's right foot to see if she's in contact when she starts. That's a shot up the middle, and that's probably going to score another run. It's going to draw a throw. Well, it's a nice charge and a clean play in center field by Hope Wade, and so they were not able to send the runner around from third. Cammie Walker reaches for the second time this inning on a single to center field. So now the bases are loaded as Lexi Smith is at third. Madison Gardner is at second. That's not Lexi Smith either. We mentioned that was a pinch runner, Jaden Ferguson.
Well, now we have
another pinch runner.
Yep, will be number 6, Bailey Camp.
So Bailey Camp re-enters into the game for Madison Gardner. So Gardner did her job, got to second base, and she's re-entered for the starter Camp. So now we go to the top of the order and the hottest hitter in the UAM lineup today. And she stays hot and puts that one in the hole in right center field. 2 runs are going to score. They're going to have to hold the third one at third base. Callie Jordan gave a diving attempt at that one. Couldn't come up with it, so it is 2 more RBIs for Hannah Holbrook. 1 run came home in the form of Jaden Ferguson. Bailey Camp also scored. 8-run inning for UAM. So now another pinch hitter for UAM, and that is going to be Maggie Miller, the 5'4" junior from Mansfield, Texas, Lake Ridge High School. She's going to pinch hit for Adriana Erickson. And Washita, Chris, just can't get out of the inning.
Yep, this is definitely a very difficult position for them to be in. And the only other game that I've been able to broadcast for softball was a home opener and a little bit of a remix of what we saw in that home opener. Washita was in a difficult position, and I think it was the 5th inning of their second it was the first game of that 5th inning, and definitely a difficult position. Took them a long time to get themselves out of.
1-1 pitch taken for ball 2 by Maggie Miller. Miller, 6 at-bats on the season, 2 for 6 on the season, .333 in the average. Only the 8th game that she has played. The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. It is 10-2, not 11-2, but Cammie Walker has not scored. I messed that up in my book. The scoreboard, and that's a swing and a miss for strike 3 for the second out of the inning from Adriana. Second out on a strikeout of Adriana Erickson. It is only 10-2. As Cammie Walker, I have her as having scored, but she is on third base. So runners at second and third, 2 outs, 10-2 is the score instead of 11-2 like I said earlier and like we had on the screen, as Hannah Hunter gets a strike to Grace Neal. So now UAM with an 8-run lead, 2 outs. Hunter just trying to get Ouachita out of this inning. Grace Neal, the team leader in RBIs. The 0-1, that's a shot into the gap in right center field, and that's going to score 2 runs. And so 2 more RBIs for Grace Neal. It's a 2 RBI, 2-out single from Neal. Now Cammie Walker comes around. Hannah Holdbrook does as well. And it is 12 to, well, Chris, now the board has 13, and I have 13 as well, because Cammie Walker scored for the second time this inning. That's why I messed that up earlier. So it is 13-2 now. And I was right in my book, huh? I was looking on live stats. They still had 10. We were right on the broadcast. We had it right in our score bug, and we had it right in the book.
Yep.
I doubted myself.
Yeah, exactly why you should never doubt yourself.
Well, not all the time. Hannah Hunter ahead in the count 0-1, but that is too high. So ball 1 now to Kennedy Cox. And so 10 runs in the inning so far for UAM. Blown it open. The 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2. The 2-1 pitch from Hunter upcoming to Cox. The 2-1 shot up the middle, out of the reach of Shoebottom, and Chris, that got off the bat in a hurry, and Madison Shoebottom reacted, but by the time she was able to react, that ball was already past her.
Yeah, exactly. And but this just another play of what Monticello's been doing all day. They've had so much success offensively, and if you're that coaching staff, and if you're the a traveling fans here, you got to love what you're seeing from the Cotton Blossom so far.
So now Sophie Wood back to the plate. They're going to call that a foul ball. They got a foul ball. Umpire's going to call that foul as Aarons dove to foul territory where it hit her glove. The Cotton Blossom fans in the crowd not agreeing with that one. That was a tough one. Jesselyn Aarons dove to the third base bag, and the home plate umpire, it's his call since it was in front of the bag. He deemed that Aarons touched that in foul territory, and so it is strike 1. Well, Wood got around on that one, and the 0-1 pitch is fouled out of play the other way, and so now it's 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Hannah Hunter came in relief here in the 4th inning of Tuesday Melton, and she is just trying to get Ouachita back to the dugout. Ouachita, when they get back to the dugout, will need to get something going here in the 4th and then again in the 5th if they want to extend this one past 5 innings. It is an 8-run run rule after 5. And so now Ouachita having to come back and put something together. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Sophie Wood. Had a home run in the 4th inning, or earlier in the 4th inning. We're still in the 4th inning. The 1-2 pitch, outside, ball 2. Wood had the home run to center field earlier in the 4th that ended the day for Tuesday Melton. She'll try to extend it. Hunter will try to end the inning. The 2-2 pitch, fouled down the third base line again. She got around on that one again, Chris, and a little bit early on that one. Wood is the 15th Cotton Blossom to come to the plate here in the fourth. The 2-2 pitch fouled out of play. Yeah, the goal, Kendall, would be to put your body in front of the tripod or the camera to keep it from hitting said tripod or camera. He can catch. I know he can, and that's going to be danger if it's down, but it is foul. Wood goes the opposite way with it, and it is foul. I have seen Kendall catch a football before. I wish he might have tried to catch a softball on that one. We'll try to straighten our angle up there between innings as the tripod took the direct hit. The 2-2 pitch. High fly ball into right field. Jordan ranges to her right and makes the catch to end the inning at long last for the Tigers, but not before UAM gets 10 runs to blow this one open 13-2. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. You're watching Ouachita Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer, caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
Back to action here as we start the bottom of the fourth inning. Get a look at the Ouachita Tigers retreating into their dugout. Head coach Derek Grimes. Sam Stevens back in the circle for the bottom of the fourth inning. Kendall Givens doing a little camera steadying repair between breaks, and that's a first pitch swinging. Ground ball to the shortstop, up and over for the first out of the inning as Lester is retired on the 6-3 put out on the first pitch she sees. Chris, Matthew Branch has done Ouachita softball games for a couple of years before he graduated. Now he's an assistant director of athletic communications at Ouachita and does the PA and stats for Ouachita softball. He brought a mega mitt when he would broadcast games. Always made fun of him. Now I wish I had that mega mitt. Callie Jordan to the plate for Ouachita now. The first pitch is a called strike. The 0-1 pitch, ground ball to the first base, and that is an easy pickup and retired on the second 3 unassisted of the day for Sophie Wood. That don't come much easier than that, Chris. That's going to help your fielding percentage. Wood's going to say thank you, and that's the second out of the inning for Ouachita. Lacey Ornelas to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the second. Beautiful day in southwest Arkansas. First pitch, high and outside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch misses for ball 2. Ouachita trying to get a base runner. for the first time in 8 at-bats. Stevens has retired 8 in a row until Ornelas gets a base hit to center field to extend the inning.
Well, Washita needed that big time. They hit a funk going into the fourth quarter on offense, and then multiple defensive breakdowns.
Fourth inning, you still in basketball broadcast mode?
I am still in basketball. Hey, basketball season is not over yet.
That's not over yet.
It is not over yet. The men
play tonight.
Yep.
Well, when you broadcast as many basketball games as you and Chase did, it's easy to slip back into that. Madison Shoebottom comes to the plate, but you're right. Washita did need something. UAM got 10 runs in the top of the fourth inning. The last thing you want to do is go 3 up, 3 down, and get right back out there in the field. So at least get the base runner. There's a good look at Ornelas. Shoebottom stands in 1-1 and taken for a called strike 2. But yeah, at least just something to stop that momentum. That's if you're able to get 3 up, 3 down. That's almost like extending a run. If you want to use your basketball analogy, just extending the run through the next. The 1-2 pitch misses. A nice take there from Shoebottom. And the count is 2-2. Shoebottom, a freshman from Bald Knob. Product of Bald Knob High School, same high school as Sarah Kate McAnally, who's working our third base camera today. The 2-2 pitch, shot into left field. That was a good hit from the freshman. And so 2 straight singles for Washita, put a runner in scoring position. And that'll bring Jesselyn Ahrens to the plate, the third baseman for Washita. Sacrifice bunt in the second. She bats with 2 on and 2 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 4 RBIs on the season for Ahrens, 2 extra base hits. Those were both doubles. Had 9 hits coming into today's game, and UAM coach is going to go out to the circle and kind of break up that momentum and try to get his infield and pitching and battery to regroup. He said his piece. Neal and Lexi Smith give words of encouragement to Smith did re-enter earlier. To words of encouragement to Stevens, and now Jesselyn Ahrens in the box. Towards the front of that box from the right side. First pitch catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. No shadows now from the tree behind the stands as the sun sets here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in early March. The 0-1 pitch. Ahrens checked her swing because she thought it was going to be outside, but a strike was called, and so now after the circle visit, Stevens is trying to respond and end this mini Washita rally. Ahrens tries to extend it. The 0-2 pitch, ground ball to Neal. She fields it, steps on the bag for the third out of the inning. So Washita gets no runs on 2 hits. There were no UAM errors, 2 runners left on base. After 4 complete, UAM 13, Washita 2. We go to the 5th. Washita will have to retire UAM and then score at least 6. Score at least a 5 to keep this one going. Math is hard, Chris, even on a Saturday. We'll be back after this timeout on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
This is Kendall Gibbons. Thanks for watching Washita Sports Digital Network.
I'm Nicole Auerbach from The Athletic.
Hey, this is Alex Pruitt with Sports Illustrated Magazine.
This is Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Kranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
This is Danielle Musselman.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Washita Sports Digital Network.
If you or a loved one gets hurt in an accident,
You need true care and concern,
you can hand us everything, the bills, the paperwork, and anything else you need help with.
so you can focus on recovering from your injury.
That's why people turn to the Taylor King Law Firm.
You need an attorney with integrity and experience in dealing with the complex details.
We do everything we can to relieve the stress and take care of your family.
If you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK.
We'll be on your side, by your side.
To the plate for UAM. Ouachita, if they were to hold UAM scoreless, would need to get to 6 runs, and that's why I was thinking 6 before the break, Chris. It's not just bad math. Hannah Hunter back in the circle for Ouachita. 1-0 the count to Flegging. High fly ball on the second pitch. Hope Wade measures it, sees the ball into and out of the sun, and gets the first out of the inning on the fly out, and that brings up Lexi Smith. So one big inning has been the difference in this one. Lexi Smith doubled in the second, walked in the third, reached and scored on a fielder's choice in the fourth. She was pinch run for and then re-entered to go back to catcher. Now she bats here in the top of the fifth. The 1-0 pitch is fouled down the left field line into the corner. And the count is 1-1. To the 5'4" junior from Collinsville, Mississippi, transfer from the University of Southern Mississippi. She went from being a Golden Eagle to a Cotton Blossom. The 1-1 pitch fouled out the play the other way, and the count is 1-2. One good thing about retrieving the foul balls here at Sully Anderson Field, if you're the visitor, if it fouls it off down the right side, it's going to roll back down the hill right to you. It's the little things in life, right?
Yep, little things always matter.
1-2 pitch. Smith wanted to go after it, held up, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We'll be back on the air on a separate stream for Game 2. Usually 25 to 30 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1 on OSDN.live or the OSDN YouTube channel. You'll see it, Ouachita versus UAM, Game 2 of the 3-game GAC series. That stream will start about 10 minutes before first pitch. Usually about 20 to 25 minutes after the end of Game 1. The 3-2 pitch, fly ball into right field, and it just lands 6 inches in fair territory, and not much Lester or Jordan or Nellis could do with that one. And so it is a 1-out single to right field for Lexi Smith. Not a whole lot you could do with that one, Chris. It's just perfectly placed and a fortunate space to land a ball in if you're UAM.
Yep, definitely.
So now, I believe that's Bailey. Yep, Bailey Camp comes up, bunts it down. Aaron's over, across, can't get it. The throw is low. The runner advances to third, and now going to advance to second. And so base running from UAM able to take advantage of situations and steal an extra base any way they can. So Smith ends up at third. Camp reaches on the bunt. Don't know if they'll, maybe a throwing error. Not sure how that's going to be listed regardless. And she advanced to second on the throw to third. So now 1 out, and Cammie Walker has singled and scored her last 2 times in the plate. Those were both in the 4th inning. So now second and third with 1 out for UAM. Walker, a freshman from Hallsville, Texas. swing and a miss. She was trying to make this one 16-2 with one swing, Chris.
Yeah, she was, and definitely would have been a welcome sight for Monticello.
The 1-1 pitch, a high pop-up into shallow center field. Hope Wade charges, comes and can't make the catch as she tried to basket catch that one. And, Chris, when it's not going your way, it's not going your way.
Yeah, exactly right. And, Hope Wade's done such a great job of getting up under those balls and coming away with the catch, but not able to do it there.
So 14-2 now. Camp is at second, had to stay at second. And then Walker at first. Still one out. Ground ball under the glove at second. The run's going to score. Here comes the throw from Wade. Made it closer than we thought it might be. But Bailey Camp scores from second to make it 15-2. Walker advances to second. And Hannah Holbrook reaches again.
Well, now Coach Grimes going to have a conversation and a pitching change here.
Pitching change, and that's going to be it for Hannah Hunter. Let's talk about Hannah Holbrook for a minute. Holbrook is 5 for 5 with 3 singles and 2 doubles. Not a bad day at the plate for Hannah Holbrook. Pitching change for Ouachita, and we'll talk about the new pitcher when we come back. You're watching Ouachita Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Hello, I'm Taylor King. I've been practicing law for over 34 years, but long before that, I learned what it takes to be a good lawyer, caring for others. You could say it's a family trait, and it's one I've passed along to my kids. If you've been involved in an accident, call 1-800-CAR-WRECK. I want to help.
We want to help, to be on your side, by your side. I'm Austin King. Now, I've not been practicing law quite as long as my dad, but thanks to him, I know what it takes to be a good lawyer. I guess you could say it runs in the family.
This is Kendall Gibbons. Thanks for watching Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Here you had a shot of our friend Kendall Gibbons on the screen there. Hope Johnson, the pitcher for Ouachita. Johnson, a 5'10 freshman from Valonia, Arkansas. Valonia High School has had a few at-bats this season, but this is her first action in the circle for Ouachita. 2-0 the count now, as both of those were high. So now runners on first and second for UAM. The 2-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike one as Adriana Erickson to the plate now. Sack bunt in the first inning, singled and scored in the third. Had a bunt single and score in the fourth, and then struck out swinging also in the fourth. In that big fourth inning that put separation between this one. She lays down that bunt, but it's foul, and so now the count is 2-2. The sun begins to set and the temperature starts to drop. And by the time we start game two, and definitely by the time we finish game two, it'll be back to feeling chilly like it has the last month or so. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a foul down the left field line into the net and back onto the field. The net that protects the Ouachita bullpen, where we see a couple of players getting warm, probably for game two. Two-two pitch outside for ball two. Full count, one out. 3-2 pitch. A shot gets under the glove of Shoebottom at short into center field. Hope Wade up with it. The throw is too strong for Williams. Hope Johnson, nice job of being where she was supposed to be to back that one up. Cammie Walker scores to make it 16-2. And Holbrook ends up at second. Erickson with her third single of the game. And now Grace Neal is back up. Neal takes a ball one on her first pitch she sees from Hope Johnson. Johnson gets her sign from the dugout, looks at the wristband. The 1-0 pitch is a bloop Texas leaguer into right field. And just another, Chris, I mean, you can't place it much better. It's how I was explaining. I was talking to someone the other day. Softball, you can hit a ball as hard as you can right at somebody and end up being an out, or you can not get all of it and it can end up a base hit like that, and that's exactly what just happened for Grace Neal.
Well, and that's what they've been doing all day. They've been exploiting those gaps that Ouachita's been leaving, and as a recipe for some offensive success.
And they have had plenty of that today. 24 hits in the game for UAM. 16 runs on 24 hits. Only 2 Ouachita errors. They just hit the ball. They did not score in the first, but they scored in the last 4 half innings. The 0-2 pitch is fouled off. Or the 0-1 pitch is fouled off. Now it's 0-2. 1 out. The 0-2 pitch, fly ball, line drive, gets over the glove of Hope Wade. 1 run's going to score. 2 runs will score. They'll hold Neal up at third. And so it is a 2 RBI double for Kennedy Cox. Holbrook scores for the 4th time today. Erickson scores as well. And Grace Neal ends up at third. Sophie Wood to the plate now. 18-2. It's a shot into left field. Got around on that one, but foul. And Sophie Wood has sent a few foul balls into that left field corner. The 0-1 pitch, high pop-up, and the infield. Ornelas camps out under it and gets the second out of the inning on the pop-up to the second baseman. And for the second straight inning, UAM has batted around the lineup. Now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Flegging. Looks like that's going to be number 7, Madison Morrissey, a 5'7" junior from North Little Rock, Arkansas, North Little Rock High School.
Yeah, and I will also say that both Lester, Morrissey, and I are all alums of Indian Hills Elementary.
Wow.
In North Little Rock. So coming full circle here.
Did you call their softball or kickball games at recess?
No. Well, not. It's not exactly what I was planning on doing in elementary.
That one threw you off, didn't it? I apologize for that. Ouachita gets out of the inning as Morrissey check swing lines the ball into the glove of Aarons at third base. But UAM in control of this one. They'll try to close it out. Ouachita's got some work cut out for it if they want to extend this one to the 6th inning. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th after this timeout on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law.
I've heard people say Ouachita
Wichita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Washita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Washita, people. It's Washita.
Ouachita.
I'm Nicole Auerbach from The Athletic.
Hey, this is Alex Pruitt with Sports Illustrated Magazine.
This is Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
This is Danielle Musselman.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN.
This is Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Thanks to our friends Tom Hart and Kyle Peterson, Pete Pranica, Nicole Auerbach, our friends, for bringing us back into our broadcast. Kyle Peterson, a baseball broadcaster at ESPN, color analyst. Tom Hart, football, basketball, and baseball. Bottom of the fifth inning, new pitcher for UAM. That is McGuire, is still 1-3 on the season, pitched 24 1/3 innings. Still a 5'11" sophomore from Haven, Kansas. Back to the top of the order for Ouachita in the bottom of the fifth inning. Down by 16. Have to score 9 to keep this one going. Hope Wade will try to get things going. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a called strike one. The 1-1 to Wade. Ground ball to short. Nice bullet across the diamond. That was Cammie Walker. And Chris, you can't do it much better than that from the shortstop position on a slow roller.
No, exactly. You can't. And just a beautiful play there by Monticello. And Wade, all-out effort to try to get to first. And it was good effort, but just ever so short there.
Caitlin Province to the plate now, 0 for 2 with a fly out to left and a 1 to right. First pitch catches the outside part of the plate for strike one. Now the sun setting, so several shadows there on the infield. The 0-1 ground ball backhanded by Wood at first base on the one hop, and that is the third time that Ouachita has been retired on the 3 unassisted. Erin Williams to the plate now. She's the last hope for Ouachita if they want to extend this one. First pitch swinging, backhanded from Camp, throw over across to Wood, and so Ouachita goes 1-2-3 in the bottom of the fifth, and that is the final score. UAM 18 runs on 25 hits. Ouachita 2 runs, 6 hits with 2 errors. The final score, UAM 18, Ouachita 2. That'll wrap up game one. We'll stop this stream, and then we will be back here in about 30 minutes probably. You can look for the game two on the same YouTube channel. Look for Ouachita versus UAM, or softball versus UAM game 2 of the 3-game GAC series. For Chris Gay, this is Chris Babb thanking Sarah McAnally, Noah Brown, Kendall Givens, Priscilla Leverett, and Wyatt Ashlock for their help today with the broadcast. Thanks for tuning in to Ouachita Tiger Softball on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Touchdown, Ouachita! Way up at the buzzer! Is it going to be an inside the park?